Joy family? Welcome to the Joyful House and welcome to a brand new Monday. Today is Monday, October 27th, 2025, and it is a little bit later in the day than I planned to get this done and out to you, but welcome to a brand new week. I do hope you had a great weekend. I do hope that last week was everything that you wanted it to be, and even through life, you were able to chase your fun. Okay, one reason we're starting late today is when I went to pick up Trayvon last night at midnight, I was almost to his work about 10 till 12 a.m. and there was a complete roadblock of police cars. And so eventually a policeman made it down the line as I'm watching other cars turn around and go the opposite direction, and told me that the road would be closed for another 2 hours, and helped me figure out how I could go around the other direction to get to basically where I was, but just on the other side of the police cars. Later, about 3:30 this morning, I figured out from a post that it was a very intense car accident that did have multiple injuries involved. So definitely praying for all of them. But I ended up not getting to Trayvon until after going around Newberry to take the interstate to go back around to where I was until about 1 o'clock. So by the time he and I got to his house and then to my house, which is just around the corner, literally around the corner, it was probably about 1:40 a.m. when I got home. But needless to say, I was wide awake. So I continued working on a crochet project until about 3:30 this morning. So I did not make it to bed until a little after 3:30. So I slept in a little bit. So your girl got some beauty rest. And then, of course, I go to watch Hobie Bingo, and it was delayed an hour. So I just got up and worked on my project after I did my quiet time. Got to have my time with the Lord. But, and yeah, just started watching Hobie Bingo. So anyway, always fun there, always fun there. But let's wrap up last week so we can get ready for this beautiful week. It is going to be the end of October during this week, and we will jump into November this week as well. So hope you're ready. Okay, so last week, our Chase the Fun challenge had us, try to be sensitive to someone who is dealing with grief. And there were two friends of mine actually that lost someone, and kind of both were kind of tragic and not really expected. So one was due to some health complications, and one took their own life. And so you guys, life is hard and life is real. So we really need to, it's always great and healthy to focus on ourselves, because we can't give to others if we don't take care of ourselves. But we have to have healthy boundaries with, how much emphasis we put on ourselves to also how much emphasis we put on others. And I'm really bad about setting boundaries for others. I'm pretty strict with my boundaries for myself. Meaning that I don't give myself as much time and attention as I need to. And I'm learning at 56 years old, I am learning to do a better job at that. But the probably more unhealthier side is the boundaries that I give others. I tend to give others so much lenient and grace. And even if I have something planned or scheduled, I always try to find a way to juggle that and be there for someone. And I'm having to learn to have healthier boundaries. But the point of what I'm getting at is we need to love our people all the time. Hold them close, because we are never promised tomorrow. So I know that it doesn't sound very much like chasing your fun in helping someone deal with grief, but trust me, for that person, that love, that support, that comfort, that encouragement, it goes a long, long way. So, grief is not something that we just get over easily. It's not an off on switch, and it's not something that, ever really goes away. Yes, time heals it, but you always have those moments, a sense of smell or a laughter or a memory or something similar, a TV show, a commercial, anything can trigger that grief and remind you of someone from, an experience you had with them. And so grief can come at any time. It can knock on your door at any time. It usually doesn't come with some kind of calling card. It usually happens rather quick and catches you off guard. So remember to be there for the ones you love. And you can always, sometimes I hear people say, I just don't know what to say or do. You can always pray for them. You can always pray for happy, joyful days. You can always pray that, they'll be strong and courageous and keep going on with the person that they're missing. But we need to be more sensitive to each other. So, all right. Last week, oh my gosh, since we were together, not much really happened in the Joyful House. I am still adjusting to the Manjaro shot, and I have been dealing a lot with nauseousness lately, especially after I eat. It is like food is just not setting well with me. So not to dwell on that a whole lot. Other than that, I cannot complain. I am starting today, going to start kind of more of a liquid diet and just see if I can kind of navigate through that nauseousness until my body adjusts more to this. But have a couple other things that I am kind of experimenting with on a natural level instead of more of a medicinal medicine type level. Medicinal, I don't know if that was the right word. Not definitely doing anything illegal or that I shouldn't be. I am strictly on my shots, my insulin shots and the Manjaro, and my blood pressure medicine. But other than that, that is it. Baby aspirin. I have to take baby aspirin, but that's because of the embolism a couple years ago. But that is the only medication I am on. But I'm drinking some natural things mixed with water and seeing how that works and if that kind of helps. And so far, I feel like it's kind of been cleansing. I can tell you that I have kind of stepped away from the diuretics a little bit. I am starting to see a lot of that extra fluid on my body release. And I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, look at me. I seem to be slowly losing that 70 pounds of water weight that I had taken on. So I think all the resting that I have done over last week has had a lot. And I am a firm believer that sometimes some of the best medicine is simply rest. And that is exactly what I did. I rested most of last week and showed up where I needed to be when I needed to be there. Had a really great day with my parents on Wednesday. My dad and I went to the UPS store together and went and picked up lunch and brought it back to my mom. And we had a great lunch and a great afternoon together. It was nice having that Wednesday afternoon drive with my dad and, just having just a little chit-chat conversation in the car and just some nice one-on-one time. Really enjoyed that. Such a beautiful day with them. I pray that Wednesdays will be able to continue being a day that I get to spend with them even after Faye comes home, but we'll see. Going to do our best to get Todd's brother a little bit more involved with their mom's care so that hopefully I can keep those Wednesdays going. Had a great tea party Thursday, and we had the watch party, had a wonderful, wonderful movie night, enjoyed Bible study, all of the, normal weekly activities that I so much look forward to. So just a really great week. And then Saturday, rolled around and Todd and I went and picked Trayvon up. We don't normally pick him up on Saturday mornings, but we went and picked him up. And then we went and spent the day with Jonathan over at his new house. And I do have some pictures of his house to show you and his yard. I have decided not to show you all the pictures I took because unfortunately, I don't want to give out the full layout of his house for, security reasons. Because, we have just some folks that just exist in this world that don't have the best of intentions. And even though I'm not giving out his address, I just still feel like for his privacy that, I needed to be selective. So I am happy to share a few pictures with you. So we're going to actually stop and take a moment and let you enjoy those pictures, and then we'll be back. Enjoyed those pictures. I know that Jonathan is loving his new house. Not just the idea of no longer renting, but owning is great. But he's happy it's a one-story. That was one of the stipulations that he had in searching for a home, was that he wanted it one-story as the rental was a two-story. The house itself is a little bit smaller than the rental, but the space works very well for him and Andrew, and they still have room that they can have guests and a guest room, so that is nice. The yard is the bomb diggity. Now at the rental house, Jonathan had a lot of backyard space, not so much on the front yard. It was very close to the road, but oh my gosh, as you can see, he has a lot of space. The acres that run behind the metal fence that was the backyard, the wooded area you saw, that is also his land. And then, and so that backyard is fully fenced in with the metal fence. And then as you saw, the front yard is lined with a white picket fence, and it almost fully surrounds the whole front yard with the exception of the driveway and coming into the driveway. But definitely lots of space for entertaining outside, get-togethers if he wants to do that. Okay. I know Sadie is really looking forward to her next play date with Holly at the new house. We are making arrangements with Jonathan for her to go over there for about a week a month so that she can stretch her legs and have that freedom, chase her fun, have fun with Holly, and just, you know, have some getaway time. And but we don't want to do it right away since Todd's mom is coming home this Friday. I know she is looking forward to seeing Sadie, and Sadie has definitely been missing her. So it probably will be sometime, maybe even December, before we set that up. And it may even be the new year. I don't know, with all the holiday stuff going on, but we'll see. I know Sadie will love it. She will love having that freedom of coming and going outside, but most times she spends it outside. All right. Yesterday, had a really great day. I woke up so early, you guys. I guess having a week of doing nothing but doing a lot of sleeping and resting. I woke up at 4:30 yesterday morning. So started the day with my quiet time, and then I crocheted until Todd woke up, and then he went and got us some breakfast and brought that back, and we had church on the TV, and then ate breakfast, and then I laid down about 10:30 and took a 2-hour nap. And he went to see his mom, and then he came home with lunch, and I worked a little bit here in the studio, and then crocheted a little bit more, and then we had Reel It In Sunday. It was our third Sunday of showing The Chosen, and really enjoyed that time with the folks that showed up. And then after that, I had a very special meeting. Saturday, after we left Jonathan's and seeing Andrew, we went to the Dollar Tree so I could pick up a very special item for a very special collab project that I am going to be doing with 4 other wonderful ladies, and we will be presenting it to all of you the very 1st of December. So December 1st through the 5th, we're going to be doing this Christmas collaboration. And so stay tuned. I'll tell you more about that down the road. But I'm going to be doing this with Pam from Be Creative Crafts, Nancy from Nancy's Little Treasures, Connie from Just Another Stitch, and Kimberly from Pajama Quilter. And then, of course, your one and only. So I'm looking forward to doing this with these 4 lovely women, and cannot wait to bring some fun and excitement to you the beginning of December. And then after that, Mr. Joyful and I spent just a little bit more time together before he had to go to bed, because this is our last weekend. As I mentioned earlier, his mom is coming home this week. So we have certainly missed her and are so grateful for her to come home. But at the same token, too, we have thoroughly enjoyed being able to have that privacy whenever we're together here at the Joyful House. And so that privacy will be very few and far between once she comes home. But hopefully as time continues and as she continues to heal, we'll get back to a time where he and I can sneak out for a little short date here and there. So anyway, that wraps up last week. Not a whole lot to report on, not a whole lot of fun, but nonetheless, very grateful for it, because it is what is propelling me into this week. And with all that rest under my belt and all of that, no doubt this week is going to be a very, very productive week. So I'm very, very excited. All right. I think it's time to see what Annie has for us and chase our fun. So if you will, join me and let's chase our fun this week. Says we need to be an amateur at leadership. Luke chapter 6 verse 31 says, "Do to others as you would like them to do to you." Sounds good to me. It isn't natural for anyone to be the line leader. It's why we switch kids around when they first get to school, and they each get a turn being the classmate who leads the line to lunch or to the playground or to the gym. Everyone gets a chance to lead. The same remains true as we grow up. Everyone is leading someone. It's one of my favorite conversations to have with friends, particularly friends who feel like they aren't influential because of the number of followers they have or on any given social media site. What we see in Jesus' life is that he had 12 guys that he led closely and taught constantly. And those 12 began a chain reaction that changed the world. So when friends tell me they aren't leading anyone or they aren't a leader, I usually push back. You might not lead a company. You might. You might not lead a family. You might. You might not lead in a classroom or a hospital or on a football field or stage, but you might. But you are leading someone. And that can feel really scary when you don't have time to watch all the leadership masterclass videos or read all the leadership books or attend all the leadership conferences. But there is someone following you, listening to your stories, watching how you live, and they are learning from you. Whether it's your coworkers or your children or followers on social media, they are shaping their lives through the influence that you have in your own life. You don't have to be perfect at it. Thank goodness, because I am far from perfect. Shh. Sorry to disappoint. But you don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to be a professional. Thank goodness, because I freeze a lot on YouTube. And I have to go start my computer over in the middle of a live. You just have to pay attention to the people who walk with you and to the life you're leading. How fun is it to think about leading another person into a healthier, happier, more secure in themselves life? That's pretty spectacular. Release yourself from the pressure that you feel to lead perfectly. Instead, see your story as it already is. You are a leader, and your life matters to someone else, and you are very capable of leading in a lot of ways. All right. So, how does Annie want us to chase our fun this week? Well, here is your Chase the Fun challenge. Chase the Fun challenge Annie has for us this week? Well, she says, create confidence in someone you lead today by asking for their input on something in which they wouldn't expect being invited to share. So I am going to extend that. It doesn't have to be just today. So over the next week, keep an eye out for someone that you can encourage and invite them to be a part of the decision making of something, or maybe have an influence or impact on a crochet project you're working on. So invite them to be a part. And I would love to hear your little testimonies of what or how you were able to encourage someone to have a little more confidence in themselves. Maybe that someone is you. Maybe you did something to instill some more confidence in yourself. Maybe you've always been wanting to start a YouTube channel and you just jumped in there and did a live. You just did it. You just dove right in and did a live. I can't wait to hear. I hope you will share. I encourage you to share. Speaking of sharing, I have someone that has shared with us on how they chase their fun. And so I want to share that with you as well. So if you will, Janet from, oh, forgive me, Janet. It's something Heaven Handmade. I will look up her channel. I'm so embarrassed I cannot remember. Forgive me. Charge it to my head and not my heart, Janet. But I will have her channel name for you when we come back. But let's enjoy watching Janet chase her fun. Welcome back. Wasn't that fun to watch Janet celebrate her time at the conference? She looked like she had an amazing time and she was definitely chasing her fun. Her channel name is Almost Heaven Handmaids. So I will have her link down in the description box below. Janet, thank you so much for sending in these pictures. And of course, those pictures earned you lots of entries on the Tea Party giveaway wheel. So I encourage you to not only share with us how you chase your fun, but send in some pictures so everyone can enjoy it with you, celebrate it with you, but also you can get some extra entries on that wheel. Okay, we always spin that wheel, by the way, the very first tea party that we have in a month, and it is always the second Thursday. There are no tea parties on the first Thursday because, well, I have a tea party and a play date with myself all wrapped up in one, and I usually settle down to a really, really good movie and just crochet for about 2 hours on Thursday evenings with myself. All right. I hope you have an amazing week. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, I have one more thing I want to share with you. Sunday morning, on my way to go pick up Trayvon, the sky gave me a very, very beautiful gift. And I had to stop and take some pictures. And I want to share them with you. So before we head out, enjoy this beautiful skyline gift that God has given me and allowing me an opportunity to share it with you. And then we'll come back and head on out for the week. All right. Enjoy the skyline. enjoyed that beautiful skyline. I just so love nature. Nature just, it just really speaks to me. God is such a great artist, from the sceneries that he paints to the designs and the creativity that he has in just all the beautiful wonder that we have out in nature. It's just so uplifting and encouraging to me. Hope you never get tired of all the nature that I bring into the channel, because it is so much a part of me and what inspires me and encourages me. All right. Be joyful, my friends. Oh, one more thing I want to share. I got this really cute, beautiful postcard in the mail this week. It says, "Only you can prevent wildfires, Smokey Bear." Been a long time since I've seen our good old pal friend Smokey Bear. So this was really cool. I will cherish this postcard. But our friend Kim from Southern Winter, her and her sister had an opportunity to visit Brasstown Bald Mountain in Georgia, and she sent me a postcard from there. And on the back it says, "Smokey Bear is an American advertising mascot created to educate the public about the dangers of forest fires. An advertising campaign featuring Smokey in the slogan, 'Smokey says care will prevent 9 out of 10 forest fires,' was created in 1944. Smokey Bear's later slogan, 'Remember, only you can prevent forest fires,' was created in 1947 by the Advertising Council, and in April 2001, the message was updated to 'Only you can prevent wildfires.' The name and character of Smokey Bear are the property of the United States as provided by 16 U.S.C. 580P-1 and 18 U.S.C. 711 and are used with the permission of the Forest Service, U.S. Department of Agriculture." So how cool is that? But she just said, "Here's a little blast from the past. Nice to know Smokey is alive and well. There was a life-size Smokey in the gift shop when my sister and I went to visit Brasstown Bald Mountain in Georgia. Sending joy, Kim." So thank you so much for that, Kim. It brightened my day to pull that out of the mailbox. Definitely gave me some joy. Okay. Have a great week. Have a lovely, beautiful week, my friends, my family. Let your joy tanks overflow daily. That is what God wants for you, to be happy in every moment and let him take care of all the details. So go have a great week. Be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations. Be the joy in everything you do. Let your joy tanks overflow daily. And most importantly, remember, hug yourself daily. I love you so much. Nugs and joy. Mwah. See you next week.